Padubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha Puritanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Prabhupada Maharaj has instructed me to say something very shortly, briefly about Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur in Russian. А русские предали, где? Есть русские? Но немножко поговорим. Это место самади Шрила Сарасвати Прабхупада. Шрила Сарасвати Прабхупад, он луч Вишну. Шрила Тхакур Бхактивинод молился, хочет луч Вишну, потому что самостоятельно он чувствовал, что я не смогу распространять миссию Господа Читания. А поэтому он получил вот этот сын, Тхакур Бхактивинод. С рождения уже still are calm. Or English. Он духовничал нашего Гуру Махараджа, нашего Гурудева, Шрила Сарасвати Прабхупада. Поэтому он парам Гурудев. Ну, на английском поговорим. I think that our Prabhupada Maharaj is partial incarnation of Narada Muni. So sometimes he's joking and making some funny situations. So Srila Saraswati Prabhupada, one thing was, he was extremely strict. His father, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, very open, very liberal. Saraswati Prabhupada, like a hammer or like an axe. On one occasion, his father went preaching, went to some distant place, and he left Saraswati Prabhupada in charge of the Namhat program. There were so many devotees who were coming, 200 or something like this. And when Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur returned, only 2 or 3 people were left, 2 or 3 devotees were left. It was so heavy. He was very much empowered, not only strict, he performed a huge yajna of chanting the holy name. Many years. And he gathered so much spiritual strength and he got so much mercy. In the end, he was praying, how can I perform this mission by myself? His Guru Maharaj had left, Bhaktishodas Babaji Maharaj. His father had left also, Thakur Bhaktivinoda. So when he took sannyas, he had a picture of his Guru Maharaj and he sat there with his danda and he took sannyas from the picture of his Guru Maharaj. Nobody to help. But then he had a dream, Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, Panchatattva, the Acharyas, they all come. They said, don't worry. We will help you, we'll send you help. And shortly after that, our Paragurudev, Srila Bhakti Goswami Maharaj, he came, and another devotee. So he gathered around him like a constellation of the most brilliant scholars, the most brilliant spiritual personalities. Srila Bhakti Madhu Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Pragyankesha Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakshakshita Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Prabhupuri Goswami Maharaj. So many amazing, brilliant personalities. He preached very strongly against he proved that Vaishnavism is higher than Brahmanism. At that time, the caste Brahmanas were very strong here in India. So then there was a big debate. And Saraswati Prabhupada came with 1 or 2 followers, and then this huge group of Brahmanas. So first of all, he began by praising the Brahmanas, a great length from scripture, and the Brahmanas were so amazed. We've never heard the glories of the Brahmin caste before, so like this. So he's praising and praising and praising. And having said that, then he went on to prove from Shastra that the Vaishnava, any Vaishnava, even from a dog-eating family, is more elevated than a Brahmana, because a not a dog-eating Vaishnava, but a Vaishnava from a dog-eating family can purify everybody, purify the whole world by his chanting Harinam and by his preaching. Whereas a Brahmana who has the 12 qualities of a Brahmana but has no devotion to Vishnu. He can't even purify himself and his own family. So, Srila Saraswati Prabhupada, he came here under the direction and protection of his father. His father bought a huge expanse of land around this area, and especially with the help of our Srila Paramgurudev, who was a very, very expert land manager, he managed the affairs here, and Srila Saraswati Prabhupada began his preaching mission. So, he was very, very strict against any Apa Sampradayas on the one hand, and on the other hand, he preached so strongly, so powerfully. When he was preaching Harikatha, giving Harikatha, he would tell his disciples, you don't go away, you simply listen. One devotee, new devotee, he came. His father was dying in his village. So he came to hear Harikatha, and then he was just getting up to go back to attend to his father. Saraswati Prabhupada said, where are you going? I'm going to attend to my father. You sit down and hear Harikatha. Your father will die anyway. And he did. His Harikatha was so powerful. We've heard how Srila Goswami Maharaj, one of his disciples, when he first started coming to hear from Srila Saraswati Prabhupada, every evening he would go to the mat in Calcutta where Srila Saraswati Prabhupada was preaching. And on the way to the mat, he was meditating so intently on the Harikatha that he had heard the previous evening. So one evening he arrived in the mud, Srila Saraswati Prabhupada's mud, and when he took his shoes off, one of his feet was covered with blood. And when they looked in the shoe, there was a scorpion there. So he'd been walking with a scorpion in his shoe, stinging him and stinging him. And he didn't notice. He was simply meditating so intently on Srila Saraswati Prabhupada's Harikatha. So Srila Saraswati Prabhupada, he preached Siddhant. He established a movement, not only in India, but in all other countries. He sent his preachers to the West. He was himself very, very strict about not hearing extremely rasic topics, but at the same time, he himself was a very rasic personality. Srila Gurudev has described how when he was hearing Gopi Geet, especially the verse where the rivers are embracing the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, the Saraswati Prabhupada had become bright red, his face would turn. Another occasion he was in a Lalana, and he went into the bushes, he didn't return for a long time. And the devotees went to look for him, and they found him lying on the ground in ecstasy. So, Srila Saraswati Prabhupada was a very extraordinary person. Our Srila Gurudev has said that if you put all the contributions of all the acharyas on one side, and the contributions of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur on the other side, the contribution of Srila Saraswati Prabhupada would outweigh the contributions of all other acharyas. So in this very auspicious place, at this auspicious time, I offer my most humble obeisances at the lotus feet of Srila Saraswati Prabhupada, and I beg for his mercy that he will very kindly engage me as his servant and the servant of his very, very dear disciples, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, my beloved Guru Maharaj, and also of my Gurudev, the beloved disciple of his very beloved Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. Srila Saraswati Prabhupada ki Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripasinubhyacha Pujitanam Bhavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo.